The 2005 Tom Cruise War of the Worlds film is one of my favorite films of all time. I love a lot of things about it. Obviously, there's a lot of issues with it, but I love a lot of things about it, namely the tripods. And I had no idea that they were making a 2025 version. And I watched it last night. It's certainly a movie. For some reason, it's essentially just an indie film. It's filmed entirely on a computer screen with very, very jank CGI and people who clearly don't know how a computer works. For some reason, it stars Ice Cube. He's this sort of big intelligence guy. Ice Cube has a son and a daughter. The son's a lousy gamer and we don't really care about him. The daughter's a big shot bioengineer. She's making a thing that cannibalizes cells and kills them if they're unwanted, etc. It spends about 10-15 minutes going over this hacker thing with this big bad hacker. I can't remember his name. It's the Disruptor. This hacker is called the Disruptor. They've been tracking him for ages. Ice Cube. So it makes me laugh every time I think that Ice Cube is the lead in this film. Ice Cube is on that case. He's tracking him down, whatever. And then the tripods arrive. They blow everything up. I thought that initial arriving sequence was pretty cool. You know, it starts off with just sirens and meteors raining down across the planet. Again, the CGI is very jank. The budget must be like 2 pennies. The movie has some very good concepts that I enjoyed thinking about. Namely, this is getting into spoiler territory, so don't keep watching if you don't want spoilers for this incredible film. The tripods in this film, they look very, very different to the 2005 Tom Cruise version, which is a shame because I enjoyed the design and visuals and audio of those very much. But in this one, they sort of have this, as opposed to the red blood that gets splattered everywhere to terraform Earth in the 2005 movie, in this one, they're all about data. They take data from planet Earth, that's how they feed. They sort of just collect the data, and they came years ago. 1 or 2 of the tripods, the government took them down and hid them because, and they didn't come back because there weren't enough data, so they were just kind of waiting around for more data, which I thought was quite interesting. The idea of aliens having eyes on this planet for years, waiting for us to have a massive intake of data that they can then feed on. I thought that was pretty interesting, you know. There's an idea in there somewhere. This whole movie, every single part of it is on a desktop or phone. I thought it's an interesting concept. So when I first read it before I watched the film, I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting, I suppose. But then they ruin it. Every single shot has this dead awkward zoom where it zooms into the cursor and whatever button Ice Cube is clicking, it zooms in on that and then it zooms out. And what should have been an interesting indie film take where it's just no zooms, no cuts or anything. It's just entirely an hour and a half of this film on a computer screen of Ice Cube's character watching the whole world fall apart. That would have been pretty interesting, but no, it's every click, every button that he makes, it zooms in on it. Every time there's a phone call, the phone call takes the full screen, which I thought was such a shame. Because then, essentially, at that point, it's not taking place entirely on a computer screen, it's taking place on cameras and drones, which is fine if they'd have shown the computer screen the entire time. But that's about it for stuff that I enjoyed. Just those 2 or 3 things, those 2 or 3 concepts, that was it. Ice Cube, it's literally just Ice Cube reacts the entire movie. It's just in the top right of the movie. Top right of the screen, the entire movie, just like, at one point his daughter gets stabbed in the leg and he's like, oh damn! It's just like popping reaction images and it's like, oh my god, no way! And it's so funny. And then, also for some reason, like, a guy who looks like Chandler from Mr. Beast is in this, and he plays an Amazon delivery driver. It's streaming on Prime, so naturally there's a lot of Amazon and Prime sponsorship. So this character, Ice Cube's daughter's boyfriend, spends the entire time in an Amazon van, and at one point at the end of the movie, Ice Cube is like, oh, I need this USB drive. And then this Amazon guy is like, oh, I've got one. You just go onto Amazon.com and place an order for a USB drive. And then Ice Cube, there is like a 10-second moment in the movie where Ice Cube, in the middle of this apocalypse, Ice Cube goes onto Amazon.com and orders a USB stick from Amazon. And then Chandler from Mr. Beast, he gets a drone and he's like, look, it's Prime Air. It's like, It's literally, he just gets out an Amazon delivery drone and flies this USB stick to it. Anyway, it got 3.3 out of 10 on IMDb. Yeah, I agree with. So Ice Cube's son, the lousy one that we don't like, turns out he is the disruptor. And Ice Cube figures it out by just like slowing down and changing the pitch of the disruptor's voice. He's like, hang on a minute, that's my son. And they work together with his daughter as well, and they engineer a mix of biovirus and like tech virus, and they put it into the servers that the tripods are after to take all the data from a system called Goliath that Agent Coulson from Avengers is keeping from Ice Cube for some reason. I don't even know why he's in here. He's just like, he's the villain, but he's in it for like 2 minutes of screen time. Anyway, and he's like this weird twist villain where there's literally a recording where Coulson is like, oh, someone warns him that launching Goliath will attract the tripods, and he's like, I don't care. We can get so much data on people, we can track them. The tripods absorb it up, they die. Everybody's happy. And then he gets invited to the baby shower, which is a big thing across the movie. He's like, oh, I wish I got invited to my daughter's baby shower. So Ice Cube makes this big sacrifice where he goes in with the USB stick and you think he's dead. Oh no, Ice Cube. And then he sends this email to his son and his daughter, apologizing for being a bad dad since his wife died, etc., etc. Which I thought, again, there's something in there that could have been explored further. And then he sends, in this email to his son and his daughter, he sends like safety images, and it's literally just screenshots that he's taken while he was spying on his son and daughter in their day-to-day life, and he just attaches it in this goodbye email. It was so weird. There was, again, a few cool bits with the tripods where there was one section of the movie where they were all going after like key survival points of the planet. So they were going after water pump systems and food supplies and electricity and power stations and things like that. And I thought, again, that's pretty cool. That's something they didn't do in the 2005 movie. In that movie, they just sort of went everywhere and just blew up everything. In this, it was very strategic. It was a war. It wasn't just, oh, these are invasions and that's it. Again, there was cool concepts I wish that were elaborated on further. It would have made quite a fun video game where you are on the computer and you're managing all this nonsense and you're looking at all these surveillance cams and seeing the tripods across the world and you can track them. It would have made a very, very fun video game. It doesn't make a good film. I would probably give this a 3.5 out of 10. I think the IMDb score is very accurate. Thanks for watching. See ya.